Musically Motivated TV. Stay tuned.
Last year, you made an appearance in the Channel 4 television drama Top Boy, and this year you are featured in a couple of films. First of all, how did you get yourself a role in Top Boy, and how did you find it? Second of all, is seeing Mr. Sway Desafo acting something that we should be getting used to?
Yeah, basically last year, I was in, I played a small cameo role in a Channel 4 series called Top Boy, which was like, I was called in like, I think it was early last year, to talk about the film. I didn't even realize I kind of got tricked into auditioning for the film. You know what I mean? I was called in about, they're looking for people like yourself. So when I got there, they were kind of like, here's a script, read this, and I was like, it was a bit in the deep end, you know what I mean? Like, okay, like I didn't really know I was auditioning, but, I'll give it a shot anyway. And, but, I have a cousin who's an actor as well, called Chifa Apia, and I phoned him up and I was like, look, there's a big script going around, man, you should go for it. And he went for it. He got the part of Ninja, and originally I was going for a different part of an older guy, but I just didn't fit the description because he was much older than me. There was actually the Lee Moss character, and then they called me back and they were like, we really want you in this film, but we want something memorable and blah blah blah. And I ended up just playing the role of a cameo of a guy who pokes a girl's eye out with his finger and ends up getting his finger chopped off, which was kind of interesting, you know what I mean? It wasn't the cliche going rogue gangster shoot him up. It was something that took a lot of balls per se to do, and it was fun being on the set with Kane and Asher and just watching the whole episodes unfold, man. So yeah, definitely looking to do some more acting. I've done a few other cameo roles in films, a film called The Grime, and also another film that's about to come out, which I can't talk about too much about now. But yeah, man, this is fun, you know what I mean? But I'm not an actor, I'm a rapper. I just like to do a little bit of cameo roles on the side.
The urban music scene in the UK seems to be in a really healthy place at the moment, with artists such as yourself regularly getting into the top 10 and some even hitting the #1 spot. What do you make of the scene at the moment, and how do you think we came to find ourselves in this position?
I think the UK scene is at an incredible state at the moment. You know what I mean? People are like appreciating UK music. People from the UK are appreciating the UK urban music as our main form of pop music. And I think it's just everything in life, I believe everything has its time. The time when I first came out, like 2004, 2005, when I was just starting out, there was very limited ways of getting your music out there. The main way I got my music is I flooded the market with mixtapes. You know what I mean? And at that point, mixtapes were actually on the CD. It wasn't something downloadable. And times have changed. People's taste have changed. People's budgets have changed. You know what I mean? And therefore, dance music and urban music, which is relatively cheaper to make, but you could do so much creatively with it, like the scope of where you could take sounds to on a computer now, with all the plugins and all the programs that are at our disposal. They're not millions of pounds anymore. Like you can just buy yourself a MacBook and buy Logic and a few plugins here and there, and you can make some marvelous sounds. And that's what the public are receptive to now, and that's why dance musicians and hip hop and people who electronic music is flourishing so well, because people are able to do more. People who couldn't afford to go studio before can buy a studio and make music that can chart into the top 10. So we're in a very good position due to the taste of the general climate and just having the tools now and the mechanisms and the avenues to get them out there with YouTube and Twitter, etc. I mean, the world is your oyster, as they say.
Wicked. And who would you say are your top 3 selected UK music artists at the moment, and why?
That's a really hard one, because it changes all the time. Like, not that these people ever leave my list of excellence, but sometimes I might hear something by someone and I'll be like, whoa, I mean, he's going in, like, he's killing it right now. But I really respect a lot of artists out here. I really like Dizzy. due to Dizzy's consistency, you know, being able to release 3 albums and 4, I think it's 4. I'm not sure. I think he's done 3 or 4 albums, and you know, consistently sell a good unit, and then come again with the rain of singles that are charting, you know, ridiculously, and have that level of focus from day one to now is a very, you know, something you have to admire. And plus he's a great lyricist as well, like, you know, he understands his market and he goes for it. I'd say also the same for Tiny. Tiny's been doing it for a long time, you know, and another person that gets really underestimated as like as a writer, but this is somebody who's very in tune to what he's doing, is Tinchy Stryder. You know, Tinchy Stryder is kind of like, he plays the humble role. He's a very humble person. He's very cool, very calm, collective. But if you see that his progression over the years from when he was in, you know, like Roll Deep days,
yeah,
to now, watching his progression and understanding how he's managed to maintain that focus and go for what he wants, and to become this now, you know, household name, is great, and you have to admire that, you know, and he's still very young. So yeah, those 3 guys.
And then would you say is at the bottom of your list, or if I want to put it less harshly, who isn't doing as well as you think they should be doing?
At the end of the day, I'm a musician, I'm an artist. I'm here to make music, you know. I'm here to make music, provide music for the people, for my fans. For me to start reeling off names of people who I think are not doing their jobs, I mean, this takes more away from me as an artist and as a person. You know, for me to highlight that in an interview is unlawful. It's not modest, and it's something that I just, you know, it's not in my lane to do.
One thing we're trying to do is help unsigned artists who are trying to make in the music business. What would be your top 3 piece of Uncle Sway wisdom or advice for artists in this situation?
I'd say, you know, one thing is to always, as cliche as it sounds, always believe in yourself. You know what I mean? Always believe that you can achieve what you desire. Like if you say, you know, I'm an artist and I want to sell 100,000 singles. First of all, you have to believe that that's possible. You have to understand that it is possible. It's not a dream. It's something that can happen. Once you realize that it's something that can happen, then you start carving out ways of how to get there. Research how other people did it, how you're going to do it differently, what you're offering the marketplace that other people are not offering. You know, it's just like running a business, like any other business. You know, I mean, that's the first thing I'd say is definitely belief. Secondly, I'd say prepare yourself for it. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, a lot of people will be at home and say, you know what, they'll be watching TV and watching people like myself on TV, and some people say, I'm better than Sway, I'm better than Kano, I'm better than Dizzy, I'm better than Wiley. You know what I mean? And they'll be saying these things with no substance. You know, they'll be saying it because, you know, they believe that they've got the talent. But, you know, if you're not prepared, if you're not out there and you're not getting, you know, you have to do a few shows where people boo you. Definitely. You have to do things outside of your comfort zone where in order to grow. So that's all the preparation for taking you to that place that you want to go. You have to put your foot out there. Like, for example, you know, as somebody who operates the camera, you know, at first you had to pick up a camera. You had to figure out how it works. Definitely. Before you went on to the 5Ds and the 7Ds and stuff, you had to use the little, you know, cameras with the, you start from somewhere. From there, you know what I mean? Some people, you know, haven't picked up the small camera and sit back and make Steven Spielberg, man, yeah, he's overrated. You know what I mean? Don't have that attitude of, you know, because you're talented and you feel like you're better than other people. Prove it in your actions and not in your talk. And
there's no point being a genius if you're the only person I know.
Exactly. And thirdly, I'd just say, you know, I'd say hone your skills. You know, a lot of people want to be artists, and a lot of people want to appear to be like business people. A lot of people want to appear to look like the rapper. Want to have the, a lot of people want to, you know, sign acts to their label before they even establish. It doesn't make sense. You know, you have to establish yourself. You have to hone your skills. You know, at the end of the day, all that matters really, at the end of the day, is the quality of the product that you're providing. You know, so that is definitely one thing I'd say is very important.
Okay. Last question. You were on Channel 4 News recently talking about illegal downloading and the effect it has on musicians.
Yeah.
What would you say to people who say that as an urban artist you need to target a white suburban youth market if you want to sell records, as they are the people who buy, as opposed to the black urban market because they don't?
I mean, I don't ever break it down as like black and white in terms of people who buy records and people who don't buy records. I have black fans who buy records, I have black fans who download, I have white fans who buy records, and thus forth, white fans who download. It's all to do with the market you're aiming for and the type of music that you're making. You know, like at the end of the day, if you're making like real ghetto music, and you know, music for the streets, which is cool, because there's a lot of music, a lot of great rappers that make music simply for the streets, then you're gonna appeal to people in the streets. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, you know, some people, you know, who are of the cancel estate environment or that frame of mind, you know, they don't find much pleasure in purchasing music. You know, a lot of people from my environments that I grew up in, they tell me straight, that's why, yeah, we love your music, but we download that. You know what I mean? We don't, you know, we don't pay for it. It's all to them. It's up to them. I mean, at the end of the day, I believe that if you're making good enough music, there's enough people out there that will want to part with their money to pay for it, and there's always gonna be people who would rather download it for free, which is cool at the end of the day. And also, never underestimate the power of the streets. Yep, it's one and only Sway. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at SwayUK. It's real simple. Also, check out my website, www.sway.uk.com. That's how it goes.